I will be having some games that is at the weekend. However, this time I will be talking more so about that is the FA Cup final that will be happening. That is on Saturday, that is the 17th at the Wembley Stadium. The FA Cup, back to history, followers, viewers, it is the oldest trophy that is in world football, having been formed way back, that was in 1871 to 1872. And all my followers that have been following, so ever since we opened up this channel, this trophy has been in contention for almost the last 154 years, and many teams have emerged as victorious. It has never changed, and it is being taken off by, that is the Prince of, that is England. That's why even in England they call it the biggest trophy, that is since it takes place and it is having a touch with, that is the royal family or the kingdom of England. This time we had so many teams competing ever since last year up to on Saturday when the final will be played. The likes of Arsenal, the likes of Manchester United, the likes of Chelsea, the likes of Liverpool, all Premier League teams, all Champions League teams, some in League 1, others in League 2, even in the non-league teams were part of the contenders that is in this competition. However, we have reached, that is to the climax, so to the apex of the final, and the final will be played, that is on 17th at the English National Team Stadium, that is the Wembley Stadium. And this time it's not by surprise, Crystal Palace will be playing, that is Manchester City, that is on the final. Big news on Manchester City, they have been on the finals of the FA Cup for the last 3 consecutive years, having won one, drawn once, and even having won one, beaten once, and even this time they are on the final. Crystal Palace under coach Oliver Glasner, the man who won, that is the Europa Cup, with entrenched Frankfurt, designated on his side as one of the winners. Still, after a lengthy period without Crystal Palace going to the final, has brought them, that is to a major trophy, final. And should Crystal Palace win this competition, it will mean they will be guaranteed, that is an automatic spot in the UEFA second tier competition, that is the UEFA Europa Cup, where teams like Manchester United and even Tottenham Hotspurs are competing up to now, that they will be playing, that is on the final. Manchester City also they are not safe, that is in the Champions League contentions. So should they win, it will mean that they still have an automatic qualification, that is the Europa Cup. However, they still also have chances of going, that is to the Champions League. This has been one of Pep Guardiola's worst seasons ever since he started coaching football. That is way back, that was around the 2008-2009 season, breaking through, that is the Barcelona team, which became of invisibles, winning, that is numerous trophies. This time he will be playing up against Crystal Palace, who I think are one of the most stubborn side, having not reached here by mistake. It's by contention and even playing some good football, led by the coach himself, that is Oliver Glasner, and even his big squad that has the likes of Eberechi Eze, the likes of Jean-Philippe Mateta, the likes of Malanga Sarr, the likes of Eddie Nketiah, and even that is the entire team. It is performing, that is the expectations, and they are one of the most informed team, not reaching here by surprise. On the likes of Manchester City, Manchester City is well ordained as one of the top teams, or even the best team that is in English football in the last previous 15 years. They have been the best team, having won all accolades that are supposed to be competed for, having won, that is the treble, which was previously taken by Manchester United, that was in 1999, but they also replicated, so that was in the 2023 season, winning everything. So also reaching here, it is not by surprise. I will be taking you back to how these teams progressed up to here. Will be coming, that is on Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace passed through the teams like that is Fulham on the quarterfinals, and they beat Fulham convincingly, like 3 goals to nil, going to the semi-finals. and on the semi-finals they played, that is Aston Villa, who we thought that they were a better team than Crystal Palace. However, football of any competition is being determined, that is within, that is the 90 minutes, and Crystal Palace at the Wembley Stadium, they managed to edge Aston Villa by 3-0, where we saw Malanga Sarr having a double, and even the likes of Eberechi Eze being on the score sheet, taking the Crystal Palace fans into bizarre crowd or into bizarre fun. On the likes of Manchester City, they progressed through beating, that was Nottingham Forest 2-0, where we saw some extraordinary performances from Manchester City that has been struggling at the start of the season. However, with the introduction of some new players, the likes of Omar Mamosh, the team has somehow heightened, that is its performance, and they are currently, that is on the final. So anything can happen on the final, but predictably, I think on my side, Manchester City on paper are favourites of winning this title. However, anything can happen, that is on the final. We just saw what happened, that is in the Coppa Italia, when that is AC Milan was playing up against Bologna. Many thought that maybe AC Milan being better on paper with the high lack of the players they have, the likes of Christian Pulisic, the likes of Rafael Leao, maybe they could perform, that is the expectation, the likes of Tammy Abraham. However, Bologna managed to secure their first championship in a period of 51 years. So anything on the final can happen. So don't just say that Manchester City are favourites to win this title. But taking you back, that is still in the FA Cup, Manchester City will be hoping to gain, that is their 9th trophy, that is in the FA Cup. Remember, currently Arsenal have the most trophies, that's around 15. The likes of Manchester United are also there, around 14 trophies. So the competition is tough, but also should Manchester City win this, it will mean that they will be closing up, that is in the middle bracket and even in the top bracket. So anything can happen, but let us just see you there watching large numbers as the FA is gaining momentum. Whoever wins, it will be a pleasure for him, since everyone who has reached on the final, it is not by surprise or throwing you there, but it is through hard work. So to all those that are on the final, likes of Jean-Philippe Mateta, the likes of Malanga Sarr, the likes of Ismail Sarr, the likes of Eddie Nketiah, and even coach that is Oliver Glasner on the side of Manchester City, maybe this could be a good sending off of one of their top players that is in the history of Manchester City, that is Kevin De Bruyne, who will be going away from Manchester City at the end of this season, meaning that everything is just fine. But to the teams of football and to those that are playing, that is the expectation. This is one of the big momentums that everyone should be watching for. But football will be just on our side. We hope the best to come out of this final. On the legs of Crystal Palace, let us hope also for you. If Crystal Palace wins this trophy, it will